Well, what do you know? Probably everybody suffers from it. But out of the mouth of kids, well, wisdom usually ushers forth. And what do you know? I was just happening to be, watching some youth talk about, how they were handling COVID-19. We're almost a year now. Well, now we're past a year from when they officially told us it was bad last year. That happened sometime in March. Even though, the guy that was telling us it was bad, he didn't really tell us or explain how bad. We now know, somewhat. There's a lot of still unknowns. But we know some things. And I don't want to talk about too much about COVID. But these children, kids and young adults, they were talking about some of their struggles that they went through last year and this year. And one of the common things that came up was, when pretty much all of them said they suffered from anxiety. They became more anxious. And that's a natural predisposition of all of us, all mammals, really, to be anxious. We're all, predestined sort of thing. And so we're always anxious. And when we don't necessarily follow the best advice. We don't follow doctors' advice, scientific advice, medical experts. We forge our own trail. And oftentimes, we leave a lot of remains on the trail in the aftermath of forging it. And what do you know? There's some basic things that we all do that we really shouldn't do. And I'm going to name two of them that pretty much everybody does. Probably pretty much every day. And they don't know that it causes their anxiety to go to the moon and back. Well, you're going to think it's watching television, watching the media. You're going to think it's those media people that's causing you to become anxious. And I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. That's not even one of them. That's not on the Richter scale. No, it's not the media. It's something that you wouldn't guess. You wouldn't even think of. Well, maybe you would if you followed the medical advice or your doctor's advice. But, when you get into those rooms with the doctor and you tell your doctor you're suffering from anxiety, you start describing the symptoms. Well, your doctor probably tells you to exercise more. And that's a iffy one. Because most people, they find the time not to exercise. So I kind of like to purple people out. I don't do a lot of exercising. I used to back in the day, but not anymore. It's tough out there. Everybody's hating everybody. So, exercise might be a little difficult, especially if you don't have a lot of space. You can always do something, though, with the space you got. Give me 10 jumping jacks. Aye. I think this is how you do a jumping jack. That's how I used to do my jumping jacks. As you can see, I'm not the athletic type. But anyway, those pesky things, they're very pesky. Anxiety. And there's ways to mitigate it. And we almost all do the exact opposite. Caffeine. It skyrockets anxiety. Probably shouldn't drink coffee every day, twice a day, or 3 times a day. In some cases, people are going to Starbucks 5 times a day. That's a lot of coffee. What are you doing? I'll have the venti, the mocha, the latte, the iced cappuccino. It's a lot of money. Think about it. If the venti is $6 and you go 5 times a day, well, there you go. That's, well, $30 in one day to Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks can use the money. The baristas there are top notch. I love Starbucks, don't get me wrong. I know it's a good thing when I see it. But that caffeine is not so good for you. And, well, it's good stuff in Starbucks juice. Well, in their coffee anyway. And then you got another one. If you, well, you want to have your caffeine. You also want to have your alcohol. Well, alcohol is a natural sedative. And, well, that well, skyrockets your anxiety. You see, caffeine and alcohol and lack of exercise, those three things set you back, well back in advance. And so it's no wonder that everybody's suffering from anxiety. And while anxiety makes you do crazy things, whether they officially noted in the medical book or not, anxiety, well, are you for suffering from huge anxiety levels? We don't want them to be casualties of poor decisions. And we're starting to see that. Very poor decisions on the youth's part. And, well, it's not all the youth, but they're crying out for help and anxiety. Let's give them the help that they need.